We're going to be taking our next step in solving quadratic equations by completing the square. Now remember what solving an equation is. You're finding the x values that make a statement true. So let's just begin with an algebraic warm-up. So let us consider the following. Solve x squared is equal to 9. So if I ask you what x values when squared are 9? Three, but also -3. These are the x values. Now, you're just able to look at the equation and come up with a solution to these, and most likely you forgot about the negative solution. So this will be a recurring theme in this lesson, where when we take the square root of a number, we need to make sure that we're considering both positive and negative roots. So let's go on to our next example here. We're going to solve x plus 3 squared is equal to 4. If you notice, on the left-hand side, like our previous example, we have a perfect square. On the right-hand side, there's a constant. So it's very similar to the example above. So algebraically, what am I going to do? Great question. I'm going to revisit this first one over again, though, and I'm going to solve this algebraically instead of by inspection. So if x squared is equal to 9, the mathematical operation that I would do to both sides is I would take the square root. But whenever you apply the square root, you need to consider both positive and negative roots. So I'm going to attach plus or minus on the right-hand side for that very reason. The square root of x squared is simply x, plus or minus the square root of 9 is 3. Let's continue on. Let's solve x plus 3 squared is equal to 4. On the left-hand side, we have a perfect square. On the right-hand side, we have a constant. I'm going to take my equation, and I'm going to apply square roots to both sides. Now, just as I've stated before, is that when you apply the square root, you need to consider both positive and negative roots. Taking the square root of the left-hand side, the square root of x plus 3 squared is x plus 3. The reason for that is because the square root and square are inverse functions of each other and cancel each other out. Is equal to plus or minus the square root of 4, which yields 2. Now, I'm going to subtract 3 to both sides, and this will lead me to x is equal to -3 plus or minus 2. And what this really means is that we have two solutions. We have -3 plus 2, and -3 subtract 2. That's what plus or minus means. So we see that x1 can be equal to -1, and x2 is 3 minus 2 is -5. So we have two solutions, one at -1, one at -5. So therefore, x is equal to -5 and -1. I'm going to put that in set brackets. Now, you may notice that I've put two numbers in set brackets, and convention says that we should put these numbers in ascending order from left to right.